the government has invited feedback from the public on the draft Personal Data Protection Bill. If enacted as a law, the draft bill will govern the use of data of Indian citizens by both the government and private entities incorporated in India and abroad. The bill comes in the aftermath of privacy being declared as a fundamental right under the Constitution of India. The bill has three broad sets of provisions. It defines personal data, it has guidelines on the use of this data, and it creates a system for regulating the use. First, what is personal data of an Indian citizen? It could be any data which makes the individual identifiable, such as their names, government-issued identifiers like PAN and Aadhaar, their gender and their caste, their location, or even their spending habits and movie preferences. Some data is identified as sensitive by the bill. This includes financial transactions and genetic information, their sexual orientation, their caste, and their religious and political beliefs. Personal and sensitive data is collected while the individual goes about a variety of tasks. For instance, transacting online, getting a new phone connection, or even enrolling under a government welfare scheme requires the individual to disclose personal data to the organization providing the service. Second, what are the obligations of the organization, termed as data fiduciary in the bill, who collects and uses this data? At the time of collection, the individual gives their consent to the organization to use the data for a specific purpose and also to share it with other organizations if needed. The organization may collect only as much data as is needed. The data is stored till the purposes are fulfilled. Further, a copy of the data must be stored within the territory of India. However, the draft bill also allows for certain situations in which personal data may be collected and used without following these restrictions. For example, a law may authorize the government to use personal data in the interest of national security. Using personal data for research or journalistic purposes is also permitted without being subject to these regulations. Third, how will personal data usage and collection be regulated? The draft bill sets up a data protection authority to act as the regulator of all fiduciaries. This authority will frame regulations about the usage of personal data, monitor data fiduciaries to make sure that they are processing data lawfully, and also investigate and penalize fiduciaries for breaking the law. Anyone contravening the provisions of the law will pay a fine to the authority as well as a compensation to the individual. Further, jail time is also provided for certain violations. The report of the Justice Sri Krishna Committee provides a detailed background to the various provisions of the bill. A summary of the bill and the report are available on the PRS website. Feedback to the government may be submitted at meity.gov.in.